Welcome to the Guy Who Knows a Guy podcast. I am your host, Michael Whitehouse, the guy who knows a guy himself. And we are recording live to tape at Podapalooza number 15. Over the last 5 years, I have had the privilege of meeting and learning from thousands of entrepreneurs, experts, and awesome people. And now I leverage that knowledge to help my clients cut through the junk and focus on just what they need to achieve their goals. So I'm excited to introduce our next guest. Lois Wyant? Did I say that right? Wyant?
Wyant, yes.
Wyant, yes. Got it. So Lois has an entrepreneurial spirit inherited from her parents, embarking on her first business venture during high school. Alongside her husband, they established a thriving portrait studio, and during this time, she delved into online marketing, diligently staying abreast of the latest updates. But she is telling me that she would like to share some things about AI, which I've heard a couple people talking. I think that might be a thing. I don't know. It might be a fad. Might go. But in case it sticks around, she's going to be talking to us a bit about AI. So, Lois, I'm going to hand it off to you to tell us anything I missed in your intro. Lois, what makes you awesome?
Well, thanks, Michael. I think the internet thing might be a fad too. So we just, they kind of go together. So,
It's been around a couple of years, so I think the internet might stick.
Yeah, maybe. So what makes me awesome? My most awesome thing is that I have 6 grandchildren that I just love to hug.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Are they nearby?
4 of them are.
Okay.
And 2 of them are about like a 6-hour drive away.
That is a bit of a drive.
Yeah, it is, but
yeah. All right. So you're going to be telling us about some robots to add to our army of robots?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got my top 4 favorite AI tools. So there's a bunch more that I use, but these are my 4 favorites.
Okay.
So we dive in?
Yes, let's dive in. Is it like a countdown, like a Johnny Carson thing?
Yeah, we could do it that way. Okay, number 4.
Number 4.
So a lot of people are using this one already. So ChatGPT, or I also like Perplexity. But I think one thing people need to understand is that to get chat to understand you, you need to really pretend like it's a new employee.
Yes.
Go in and tell it everything that you want it to know about your business, how you want the sales process, give it a title. You're the marketing manager or whatever you want to call it, so that it understands what its purpose is for your business. But then after you do all of that, ask it if it has any questions. And it usually comes up with 5 to 12 more questions. Put those in, and you're really training it to be an employee. And in that process, keep in mind that if it doesn't do something right, tell it.
Yep.
And like if you are writing an email and you redo the email, put that email back in and say, I made these changes. Please keep this in mind for future emails. So train it, teach it like it's an employee, and it will be a wonderful help for you.
Yeah, no, that's a great. I use ChatGPT all the time, and one thing I have found, because I never actually sat down and trained it, because that feels like work, but I use it all the time. So I'm feeding enough into it as I'm doing different things that it's figuring it out in the big picture. But I think a lot of people aren't using it all the time. They're not making it a regular tool, and so they sit down to a nearly raw ChatGPT instance. And they're like, write me an email. And the email is, I hope this message finds you well, because it's the standard off-the-shelf generic ChatGPT. If you haven't prompted it at all and used it, it doesn't know you. It doesn't know what you want. So either you need to be very intentional, Lois, like you're saying, and intentionally work with it, or just use it compulsively as your, handy AI assistant. Both of those can work. But the thing it does not work is saying, I don't understand how this works, and AI is complicated, and so I'm not going to use it. That is definitely what doesn't work. So, but
I agree.
Yep. So I'm glad to share that. Yeah, and that point about being an employee is key. I think people think of it as like, I don't know how computers work. Do you know how employees work? Treat it like an employee. So when it makes a mistake, you say, that's not quite what I wanted. Please do it this way instead. And then it will say, oh, I'm sorry. Let me try to correct that for you. And its feelings never get hurt, and it never gets frustrated, and it never yells at you, and never slams the door. It just says, oh, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Best employee ever, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So what is number 3?
Oh, we're only on number 2.
Well, as you're counting down. We did 4.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, yeah. Number 3 is use AI video. So I use InVideo, and I really like it because first off, I can clone my voice, so it makes the video more personal to me and it sounds like me. It really does sound
Mm-hmm.
like me. And I could save so much time because let's say, for example, if I were making a video, oh, another point is that you want to use video, and especially on YouTube, because Google owns YouTube. And whenever you use more Google tools, it helps in your online presence. So make videos, put them on YouTube, embed them on your website. So what I like most, and I combine chat and video, in video is what I use. And so I'll ask chat, let's say, for example, it will say, hey, give me reasons why someone should have their air conditioner checked in the springtime to prepare for the summer if I was working for an HVAC
Mm-hmm.
company. So it'll bring in all these points as to why or what to do for preparing for summer. Then I'll take all those points and I'll put it into the video program and create a long video. Then I'll take each of those points individually and make a shorts video.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put those shorts in and link them back to the long video. So I'm using backlinks. Short videos get a lot more views than long videos do.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm ending all the shorts, like if you'd like more tips, check the link below. So then that can drag them over to the long video where they see all the points.
Hmm.
So in video, like it could take me a couple hours to make all of this video processing. And now I can do it in like 20 minutes. So I love AI video.
Great. All right. And so what's number 2? Counting down. We're still counting down. Number
Yes,
2.
I've got it now. So number 2 is a product called Zagio. And what Zagio does is it helps with your website structure. So it will go in and you'll say, hey, it'll pull out like the top 3 ranking websites for your niche. So again, let's say we were Raleigh HVAC. All right, so it'll look at the 3 sites that are ranking 1, 2, and 3, and it will pull all their page layouts up. So it'll tell you what keywords are ranking number 1, what keywords are grouped together on a page, and the layout of it. So then you can go and take those pages and you could duplicate that layout, if you will. So you say like, oh yeah, this keyword works for me, this page works for me, I'll take these keywords and put them over here. And so it's matching up the keywords with what's already ranking on the top 3 websites.
Okay.
Then the AI part will go in and create title and content. And you can go in and switch that around and make it more of the voice of the person that you're working with and actually lay it out so that it can become a number 1 ranking website. Now, the other thing that's really cool is this program will also, you can work with it to put the schema into those pages. And the schema is what Google is reading. And also we're told that that's going to be really important as we get more into these voice searches, that the voice search, like the Alexa and the Google things,
Mm-hmm.
will actually read the schema to recommend your services. So if you say, hey, Alexa, give me the best HVAC person in Raleigh, you will come up because you're already using that schema for that search.
And what was that site?
It's Zagio.
And
And I'll
how
tell
do
you
you spell
what,
that?
I'll give you a link to all of my favorite AI,
Is it Zagio?
Xagio.
Oh, Xagio.
Mhm.
Aha, there it is. Xagio, Zagio. Okay.
Zagio.
And what is the number 1? What is your favorite AI tool?
Okay, so this is a new one. I actually just put this together this week, and it's, most sites have chatbots,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of this like very semantic process where it'll say, okay, which of these 4 things do you want me to tell you about? And then it's a diagram process of going through.
Yeah.
Well, this is a voice chatbot, if you will. So it actually can be prompted to talk to people. So I'll tell you what, can I give you a sample?
Sure.
Okay. So here comes our little orb.
Hello, Lois. I'm Jenna, your friendly virtual marketing assistant from JFT Web Marketing. How can I assist you with your digital marketing needs today?
Hey, Jenna, so I need help with my reviews. I just got a bad review and I need help getting rid of it.
I totally understand how frustrating a bad review can be, Lois. While we can't directly remove reviews unless they violate platform guidelines, we can help you manage your online reputation effectively. This includes strategies like responding professionally to negative reviews, encouraging more positive reviews from happy customers, and improving your overall review profile.
What do you think?
That's pretty cool.
So you can again program or prompt this chat to the conversation you want, the process of your sales program or how you sell. I heard a sample the other day of an orb that was set on a tea website.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually talked to it about the different teas, what was healthy about them. It offered to send them a sample, collected their address, read it back to them, and it puts it all in a contact area in the program. And so this is a process where you can either A, be open 24/7 because it's there to talk. It could relieve some of the pressure of maybe having an actual receptionist, if you will, because you can also program this to go to a phone number. So you can have like your 24-hour, 7-day a week helpline. And this could be your helpline with this little AI chat talking to people. And you can also link your calendar to it so it can actually make appointments for you. So it could really replace or add to your services a calendar or a receptionist. And you notice it said hi Lois because it knew I'd already chatted with it. So it knew my computer tagline, whatever that is. It knew that and knew that I was coming back. So it does the same thing with phone calls.
Okay. Interesting. So with a phone call, would you recommend disclosing that it is a automated assistant?
That would be up to you.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like it would make sense to disclose that it's an automated but highly functional assistant, because otherwise at some point you're gonna figure out, I mean, I can tell from the voice that it's AI, but most people at some point figure out like, it's kind of weird, what's going on here? Whereas if it's a automated, you're like, wow, this is such an amazingly functional piece of technology, I'm so impressed by it, versus this is a weird, hard to work with human, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it your AI assistant.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I found when I have a AI assistant that I call Al, because Al looks like AI. And I have it write emails for me. But when Al writes an email, he signs it, because as I point out to people when we talk about anything from swipe copy to AI writing your content, do you know what you call it when you sign your name under words someone else wrote? That's called plagiarism. So if you didn't write it, you shouldn't sign it. Because people feel the inauthenticity, but people love Al. I actually did a survey after I had Al writing emails for a week, and I was like, hey, do you want me to come back and write the emails? Do you want Al to write all the emails? You're doing a mix? And I almost got voted off my own island. They're like, Al's hilarious. I love him. The funniest thing is people don't believe that Al's actually AI generated. They're like, no, Michael, you're writing that stuff and you're just pretending it's the AI. And I'm like, no, it's really the AI. I'll tweak it, like if it gets a date wrong or I need to fix a sentence or whatever, but that's all the AI.
No, it's amazing what AI can do. You know, I was thinking the other day that when I was in elementary school, the teachers were talking about how computers will save us time and we'll have shorter work weeks and shorter days and all that. And then the computers came out and it seemed like I was working longer days because I was learning how to use the computer.
Yeah.
And then I was still working longer days because then I realized how much more the computer could do. And I feel like this is a point that the computer may save us time. It could possibly give us shorter work days and shorter work weeks because it speeds up the process.
Yeah. Well, and that gets to a larger issue about work. Corporate work, it's expected you'll work 40 hours. So as your productivity increases, you're just expected to do more without being paid more, of course, because that would be ridiculous. Why we pay someone more? They're still working the same number of hours, just make higher profits. But even for entrepreneurs, you still have this idea of 40-hour work week. You're working for yourself, but you still work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So you have AI, so you work more. So you get more done, which to a certain point when you're building a business is good. But at a certain point, you need to realize, how much do I need to get done? Have I done what I need to get done? Can I stop working now? And that is a key thing. So the potential is certainly there, because once your productivity increases, you can do more in less time. But you have to know when you need to stop.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, all right. So those are your 4 key AI tools, and yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of potential of those assistants. And I've seen those assistants, or haven't seen anyone using it yet, but I've seen the concept of it in the coaching space. Because a lot of what coaches do is ask powerful questions. You can absolutely train an AI to ask powerful questions and reflect back, which gives you the ability to have a coach who can answer you at 3 o'clock in the morning when you can't sleep and you're thinking about a question, and then reserve the human coaches for when you really need like the deep dive kind of stuff that AI is not up for. But that's certainly something I'm seeing coming. I'm seeing the biggest challenge I've seen is the chatbots are unnecessarily hard to set up. So was it that orb? Was that last one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how hard is that one to set up?
I went in and I told it who it was, what it was representing. I put in my website. I told it how that I wanted it to be friendly and informative and that. And then there is an AI in the program that writes out like the guidelines for it. And I went in and tweaked the guidelines, and that was it.
Well, that
So
sounds pretty straightforward. And then you can embed it into a website, or
yes.
and
So
where,
there's points where like I'm going to tweak it a little bit more, as far as like offering to send, like have it send a link to different things and things like that. So I'm going to be tweaking it, but I think for something that kind of like out of the box, if you will, I'm really happy with it.
and is that orbs.com? Is that the right orb?
No, actually, it's done by My Genius Lead. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you a list of all of my favorite tools. It'll be my fave AItools.com. So MYFAVAITOOLS.com.
My fave AItools.com. There we go. Yeah, because when I look up orb, I see all kinds of things.
Yeah.
My fave AItools.com.
Yeah. It is a page I just put up today, so it may not be connected to the DNS yet.
Okay, that would explain it then.
Yeah, okay.
Because I checked it just now, or maybe it's www. No, it doesn't need that. But it should be up. So if it's not up yet, by the time you are hearing this, then try back soon, because it will be up soon. So it's my
it'll be up
fave.
by tomorrow.
Yep. Well, that's when this episode might be up too. So my
okay.
fave AItools.com. Maybe. Will I get it done tomorrow? That's my intention. What's going to happen? Who knows? So
maybe you know a guy who can do that.
yeah, but that guy would want to get paid, so I'm gonna do it myself. So you got myfaveaitools.com, which will be up shortly. And do you have any last things to share with our audience?
No, just I had a mentor that once said that it's not a question these days of whether your competition is going to put you out of business. It's a question of whether you're going to keep up with technology, and that will put you out of business. So really think about what technology is going to help you be more helpful to your client. But also, I think even more important, what kind of technology is going to give you a little bit more free time to spend with your family? Because to me, that's the most important process that any business owner can do, is just make sure that you're spending time with your family. So if this is a tool that can help free up some time so that you go home for dinner or whatever, it's worth investigating.
Yep, that's fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lois, for coming on the show and joining us here in the Podatorium. And I will see you around the internet, or at least a robot that looks a lot like you.
Yeah, or sounds like me.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.